Now, the US president intends to cancel all federal funds directed at Harvard University. Donald Trump upping the ante on the elite institution, which happens to be the oldest university in the United States. He first threatened to put $9 billion of government funding under review. He's already frozen $2.2 billion in grants and $60 million in official contracts. At the heart of Trump's beef with Harvard is the university's rejection of oversight on admissions and hiring over claims that the school is a hotbed for anti-Semitism and woke ideology. Last week, a judge in the United States temporarily blocked the Trump administration from revoking Harvard's ability to enroll foreign students. It's resulted in one group penning an op-ed in the Washington Post. It's titled, "We're international students, we're afraid to write this, but we have to speak up." We can now bring in Abdullah Shahid Sial, who is the co-president at the Harvard Undergraduate Association, who co-wrote that op-ed in the Washington Post. Thank you so much for speaking to us here on France 24. You are in Harvard's class of 2027. What has your experience been at the university so far?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. And again, the experience has been absolutely incredible. The amount of people I've met who have also represented the best of their own respective countries, and the amount they have contributed to my scholarship, to my learning, has been absolutely incredible. And I don't think there are many other places in the world which have the ability to do all of this.
You say in your op-ed that international students are being used as poker chips by Harvard University. What do you fear will happen to your, future at the institution if this continues?
So two things. Number one, I think in terms of our future, it's extremely uncertain. I don't know if I'll be continuing the rest of my degree in the fall semester, given the circumstances, given if I even will be allowed within the country on my student visa. So the uncertainty surrounding that side makes every decision extremely difficult. And this isn't just my story. This is the story of thousands and thousands of international students who are at Harvard, which include people from literally every part of the country, every part of the globe. And yeah, it's been extremely difficult being seen as people who have been thrown from one side to the other as poker chips between the Trump administration and the Harvard administration, given that the Trump administration wants Harvard to comply with its demands, and it's using the international community at large as negotiating tools, as collateral to make sure that Harvard bends according to their will. And it's been extremely dehumanizing and demeaning to us as people, because we aren't seen as students, as people with individual stories, but just as these tools which can be thrown from one side to the other.
It seems from what Harvard's actions have been over the past few weeks that it is gearing up to fight and take this administration head on. What has the institution been telling international students?
Again, it's given the sheer amount of uncertainty which clouds not just us, but everyone, including the university. We have been advised to act in an extremely risk-averse manner, which includes not traveling the least possible, so like refraining from leaving the country and just making sure that the likelihood of us encountering a federal agent is least likely.
What was it like for you as somebody who's from Pakistan to learn that you had gotten into Harvard University and then actually going to Harvard University? What's that experience been like?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question. And I want to emphasize on how incredibly lucky me and my entire family have been, including not just my family, but the larger community I am from at large, knowing that someone from that place will be attending a college, and not just a college, but as prestigious of an institution as Harvard, and that too in the United States, which again is the hub of freedom, where you can say anything you want, and everything is protected. But I think all of those fundamentals that I believed in, that many believed in when they came to the US, are being challenged right now. And many, according to many, if they were to rethink their decision, given that, if they knew that this uncertainty would be facing them once they enroll, for many the decision would change. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm extremely lucky, and I feel very humbled to be attending this place.
What has your experience been like in the classroom at Harvard specifically? Because of course it is the oldest institution in the United States. Clearly, a whole host of Nobel Prize winners have come out of Harvard University. Yet the Trump administration seems to believe that this is a hotbed for anti-Semitism and woke ideology. What's your experience in the classroom been like?
Thank you so much for asking that question. And I would say that anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and all of these issues are prevalent in many college campuses, including at Harvard. So that part is definitely right. And these problems need to be addressed, and no one should feel uncomfortable within a college campus. That's very, very important. At the same point in time, I want to make it very clear that deporting international students and holding grants from the university, which benefits every single American, like grants to research and all, that doesn't solve any of these issues. Because also, like, understand how these deportations or like revoking these student visas also include Israeli students at large, and my like so many of my other fellow Jewish friends who also happen to be international. So if anti-Semitism was a problem, this level, like this particular method, doesn't solve anything at all. And we do think anti-Semitism is a problem, but doing this in any way doesn't benefit any stakeholder. In fact, like all of my students have rallied together to the point where every single person, including the Muslim communities and Jewish communities on campus, they have all like collectively, in most cases, have said that uh, we are being used as pawns, as a front to kick 27% and thousands of students out of the country. It doesn't solve anything.
Okay, so you're saying anti-Semitism is a problem that needs to be addressed, but you're also saying Islamophobia on campus needs to be addressed. What are you hearing from the administration? Did you want to say something?
Yeah, just to clarify, and I think anti-Semitism is a problem, and also deporting international doesn't fix any of that.
Indeed. Now, what are you hearing from the university? Because, as I said, they have shown that they are willing to take the administration head on. You are calling on Republicans in Congress, many of whom are Harvard graduates, let's not forget, to actually stand up to Donald Trump. Do you think they will, given that we've seen the Republicans in Congress being rather meek in this administration?
We don't know about that, but that's definitely something which hope that happens. And the reason for us penning that op-ed, again, we are students, we're 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. We don't have a lot of leverage in our hands. We don't have a lot of power, but the people who do have power, they have the ability to change all of this. And we hope that through that piece, we were able to move some heads, move some minds in the direction where they also happen to protect their alma mater and students at their alma mater, and I hope that's in defense of that scholarship, people do stand up.
Abdullah, I see that you're deciding between economics and mechanical engineering. I don't know what you've decided to major in, but what happens? I hate to ask, if you're not allowed to go back to the United States, would another country appeal to you? France, Germany?
Again, it's been there haven't been many days which, since I've had to think about this question. Right now, obviously, I do think that despite all of its problems, I doubt any other school has as much resources and as much benefits as studying at Harvard does. But given the situation where we are not allowed to attend the place which we dearly love, and attend the country which we also like deeply love, we have to look for other alternatives. And definitely, all of these spaces do have enough resources for us to go to them. But hopefully, it doesn't come to that.
I know that you co-wrote this article with a student from Stockholm and one from Vienna. It clearly was a very brave move on your part. Why did you feel you needed to do this?
Thank you for asking that question. And the biggest reason for me was the reason why Harvard accepted me was because I stood up for my values. I stood up for what I believed in when times were tough in the past, and Harvard recognized that and saw that this like Abdullah is a reasonably brave person. We need him on our campus. And if I shut myself out right now, and if I don't stand up for what I actually believe in, just because I'm scared, just because the stakes are high, then I'm not being the person that Harvard accepted. So this was just a product of me being true to myself and true to what I stand for, despite the circumstances. And I hope that point came across really well, because we definitely did put ourselves at a lot of risk. Whenever we speak at rallies, we're putting our names out there. And I want to also make it very clear that this is a very purely pro-student voice stance, which we have taken in defense of our fellow internationals and the largest student and the student body at large, and this narrative can no longer be skewed in any other way. It's just for them and nothing else. And I haven't engaged in activism before in this manner, and I'm only doing this because I feel that this is necessary. And if I don't do it right now, then I don't know when will I stand up for myself and my fellows.
I think it's a very brave move, and I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that you are able to return to Harvard in the fall and complete your studies there. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Abdullah. Shahid Sial, who joins us from...
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.